This is Positive Moments with Jean Walters Lucy, personal growth consultant, teacher, author, and lecturer. Hello again, everybody. I'm Richard Miller. Welcome to Positive Moments with Jean Walters Lucy. This is a special edition of Positive Moments. Hopefully, you have been listening in the last couple of weeks and you've heard our excellent conversation with a truly amazing man, Don Miguel Ruiz, the author of the book, The Four Agreements and the Mastery of Love. Jean, for those who perhaps haven't caught the first two programs, tell us a little bit about Don Miguel and who he is and how he came to doing what he's doing now.
He's such an interesting man because he was raised in the Toltec tradition, and yet at the same time he decided to go to the West and become a surgeon.
We should say that the Toltecs are like the Aztecs or the Mayans. They're a very ancient race of people that live basically in Mexico and Central America. They're responsible for a lot of the pyramids and stuff, Teotihuacan.
Mm-hmm. The way Miguel Ruiz describes this is that they are scientists and artists, but they also hold the esoteric teachings of the Toltecs, which is about conserving your spirituality.
Well, let's get into the interview, and this is part 3 of our interview with Don Miguel Ruiz.
Well, there's another question from my students, and it was about gossip.
Uh-huh.
and actually I had this from several, and they were saying that it's just hard to believe that gossip is so bad, and because they really are releasing, they feel like they've just released things when they've gossiped.
And
yes.
They're absolutely right. They release things when they gossip, but what is what they're releasing?
It's toxin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then when they release that, they feel a little freer.
Mm-hmm.
But then this poison go to other place.
Yes.
And communication is not exactly the same like gossiping.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You communicate what you know, you communicate a point of view, whatever. But when you have the intention behind to hurt someone, now it becomes gossip.
Yes.
The intention to hurt, to harm someone,
mm-hmm.
to talk about someone and put him down in front of other people.
Yeah.
For example, how many times we hear somebody's opinion, and it's okay. But when someone asks us
mm-hmm.
what that person says, then we try to say what that person says, but we say it with our interpretation,
mm-hmm.
with our own opinion,
mm-hmm.
with our approval or disapproval.
Yes. Like the telephone game. Where somebody says something at the beginning of a line of people, and by the time it reaches the end of the line, it's completely transformed into something else.
Yes, but not just that, because something that they do, they put the judgment,
mm-hmm.
they put the result of the judgment and the punishment also,
mm-hmm.
and they distort everything.
Yes. Yes.
But the main part of that is the intention that go behind the information.
Yes.
Because the intention many times is to undermine other people, or judge the people and expose a people.
Mm-hmm.
And if we believe in evil, that looks something very evil.
Yeah, definitely.
For example, when we see a movie, there's a hero and a villain.
Mm-hmm.
We see that the villain creates all those lies.
He creates chaos and drama. Yes.
And create all those, you can say, gossiping around the hero. And the hero cannot even respond. But in the end, the truth comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Then everything goes against the villain.
Yes.
And the hero gets clean.
And that's a metaphor.
It's something like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
When we're gossiping, we're the villain, really.
Yes.
But we don't want to see them that way. We can use all the justifications to say, no, it is okay to gossip.
Yeah. And when people are placed in that situation and they know they want to give that up, how do they begin that? What do they do?
Well, always the first step is awareness. We need to be aware what we are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as we have the awareness, we need the strong will. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
We talk
yes.
the will is like a muscle.
Choosing. Mm-hmm.
And with that will, we will stop and refrain to do it. Not repress, refrain, because we know it's not okay.
Yes.
Because we know that will come back to us.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever we say about somebody, and if it's not true, sooner or later, the people will know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And then they will qualify you as a liar.
Yes.
As an intrigator. And now they will gossip about you.
Yes. It does kind of come full circle, doesn't it?
Yes, it's what in India they call karma.
Yes.
You send it comes back to you.
Yes.
And hurt you.
Well, Miguel, we know that you do seminars around the country.
Yes.
And I'd love it if you could tell us a little bit about the seminars so that perhaps people can avail themselves. Do you ever get to the Midwest?
Oh, yes. I was just in Chicago, Detroit.
Oh, okay.
I was in Kansas.
Mm-hmm. And how might people...
In Texas, I was in Texas, too.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, if you go into the website...
The website? Okay.
Yes. You can have all the information.
So how do people find your website?
And it's www.miguelruiz.com.
Okay.
Or also, if they call in the Sixth Sun Foundation, they receive all the information that they need.
Okay.
And the number is 1-800-294-3203. 1-800-294-3203.
Okay.
And we have a lot of events. For example, in September, we're going to Teotihuacan in what I call a power journey. And Teotihuacan is a site with where is the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon.
In Mexico?
In Mexico.
Uh-huh.
And after that, right away, we go to the Yucatan Peninsula, to the Maya land, to Chichen Itza, Coba, and Tulum.
Do your seminars change when you go to these ancient sites?
Well, yes, because this is and it's a very close relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like going into another dream.
Oh, okay.
And it's like they're in love for 10 days, and they can see everything through the eyes of love.
Mm.
Like some of the apprentices, they say, well, every journey of that is like 10 years of psychotherapy or something like that.
Yes.
It's a lot of...
So they can take a little bit of a shortcut.
Yes.
In their progress here, and attend one or two of these.
Oh, definitely. It's very, very intense and very beautiful.
Okay. There was one agreement we didn't actually mention, and that was don't make assumptions.
Don't make assumptions.
And I see that all the time, and I call people on, are you assuming that, or do you have evidence to prove that? And, most of the time they have to admit that they've made an assumption.
And, it's because we have that voice in our head that never stops.
Yes, the chatter, I call it.
It never stops. Well, I call it the liar.
Okay, there you go.
And it's always gossiping inside our head. Mm-hmm. And making stories.
Yes.
And we practice for so long that it's difficult to start making assumptions. Then we make a whole story in our head, and we make the assumption that is truth. And we start treating people believing that that the assumption that we create is truth.
Yes.
And they don't even have an idea. They create a lot of conflict in the matrimony, in the relationship with our parents, with friends. And if we just don't make assumptions, the communications will improve 100%.
Would it be a beginning then to ask yourself, is this something I'm making up, or do I have some evidence to back this idea up?
Well, what I tell my apprentices is, don't believe yourself.
Okay.
Don't believe that voice. Don't believe it. Ask.
Ask the person.
Ask the person.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And this is a lot of healing. There's a lot of matrimonies that they healed the relationship with the 4 agreements and with the mastery of love.
Yes.
And they can apply the 4 agreements in any direction. In business, it's wonderful. In business.
I can see in matrimony it would be dynamic.
It's pure healing.
Yes.
Then many of the people who have their own business, they come with me and say, Miguel, my business grew so big.
Yes.
As soon as I changed my attitude with my employees.
Yes.
And they say, I give the book to everybody.
Yes.
And everybody come to work with happier. They enjoy more the company,
Yes.
and all those conflicts almost disappear.
Yes. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. But isn't it selfish then to take time and work on your own self? And
Not at all.
okay.
This is self-love.
Self-love. Okay.
You know, you only can give what you have.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. I'm so grateful
see.
for you saying that.
When you're selfish, it's because you don't have love for yourself.
Yes.
Then you give to them what you have. Then someone that is selfish, they say, okay, if you love me, you have to take my anger.
Yes.
You have to take my jealousy. You have to take my judgment. You have to let me control your life if you love me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is selfishness.
Yes.
This is not love at all.
It's taking from the other person.
Yes,
Yes.
but
And-
you're hurting them.
Yes.
That's why selfishness closes doors.
Yes.
No, when you try to improve yourself, it's because you love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And when you find all that improvement in yourself and you love yourself, this is what you give. You give love.
Yes.
Excellent. It's so great to listen to Don Miguel. He's such an interesting man. Once again, his books are The 4 Agreements and The Mastery of Love.
And we both read them and both thought they were amazing works. And hopefully you'll get a chance to buy one or the other, and you'll find out for yourself just what a simple philosophy this is and how much it can transform your life.
The 4 Agreements is probably one of the most helpful and one of the most important books that I've read. And the great thing about it is that it is so simply written. You don't need to be a philosophy major. Anybody at any level can read and understand the 4 Agreements.
And you know, I've shared this book with so many of the people I know, and I have never encountered one person that, after they read it, they didn't say, oh my gosh, that was an amazing book. The philosophies are simple, but learning how to live according to these agreements for yourself is going to take some time. It's going to take some work. I know you and I both have been working on this for a long time.
Particularly because when you read this, you realize that it puts you at odds with the beliefs that so many other people hold. And so this is a book that you buy and you read it and then you reread it and you pick it up every now and then and go over it again, and it reminds you and reinforces because you do begin to realize that so much of what you were taught probably was wrong.
When we do that, when we are actually encouraging people to not live their dream or to not be all that they can possibly be, we're not only hurting them, we're hurting ourselves. And this gives you a little pathway to begin to look at it differently and begin to speak more impeccably and to give that kind of encouragement and love that all of us need and want. It's a nice, simple formula to do that.
Indeed. And once again, MiguelRuiz.com is the way to find out more. And his book is a bestseller, readily available in most bookstores. And they're simply read. They're not large. They're accessible to everyone. And we certainly recommend it. And we also recommend listening once again next week as we conclude our 4-part series with Don Miguel Ruiz on Positive Moments with Gene Walters Lucy. Thank you, Gene.
Thanks.
This has been Positive Moments with Gene Walters Lucy, personal growth consultant, teacher, author, and lecturer. If you have comments or questions on any personal growth subject like universal law, dream interpretation, intuition, self-esteem, or self-empowerment, you can reach Jean at her website, www.spiritualtransformation.com, or call 314-991-8439 and leave a message. 314-991-8439. I'm Richard Miller, and we'll see you for your next Positive Moment.